We've got Max Challenge from some Prism. Oh, I got the volume on the other one. All right, what's up? So we've got our Max. So I've re-coordinated, recalibrated what we're doing here on Fridays. I'm willing to play any kind of increment 5+. So not 1 second increment because it's kind of dumb. But 5-2, 5-3, 5-5, it's all cool. Just whatever you want between 5-2 and 5+5. This is Sung Prism. He's 2055 in Rapid. What are we going to do with him? Now, the solid Queen's Gambit accepted. I feel like I need to move my board over to the left. 1 second. Why is the clock? It feels like the clock's too close there. What's up with that? It's not helping me. Hello? Bro? Why doesn't that work? Where's my window, bro? Why won't it? It doesn't seem to have any effect. That's weird. Video capture device. Just a second, I'm sorry to pause our game here, but before we start, I want to fix the layout. On Twitch, it just annoys me that the clock is like just a little bit under the board. Why are you playing? Oh, it's E4. Okay. So why isn't my window working? Properties. What's up, guys? Is anyone here? Oh. Yeah. We have a game. Oh. You may. Dude, what's going on here? Okay. Why can't I fix the overlay? It's the overlay that's the problem. It's not locked. It shouldn't be locked. Like, I can't move shit over there. Let's check the overlay. Where the hell is the overlay? There is no overlay? There it is. That doesn't really help me, does it? Oh, maybe it does. But it's, yeah, there we go. That almost looks good. I'm really... Now the board looks like we could... How do I move it just a micro fraction? I guess it's not hovering on the board. It's right on the edge there. All right, whatever. I'm just going to leave it like this. It's not perfect. All right, I'm being anal retentive. Yes, it's fine. Whatever. All right, let's go on. Ready to start. All right, Sun Prism with white. E5's out of the question. Or is it? Well, if I did play E5, I have to come up with something creative. So, what do we feel inspired to play? Let's just play Sicilian. What do you got for me? What do you got? The Rogozin? The Rogozin. All right, I'm not awake yet. It's all right. I'll be awake when the smoke clears. I've been awake for a while, but that doesn't mean I don't have dementia. Welcome, guys. Happy summer. We have 2 viewers. Thank you. I was worried we were going to drop to like 1. Oh, King's Indian attack. Wait. Are we going back in time here? What did you play when you first came to my stream, Sun Prism? What did you play? Did you ever play the King's Indian attack? Did you ever do that? Did you do that? You rang? The childrens are waking up. Summer wake up time. Bishop E3. What is that? What is that? That's just ridiculous. What are you doing? All right, too much time. The bubble. What is this that White's playing here? You're just making shit up? Or is this a real thing? I'm going to stick to my setup here. Or a normal King's Indian attack setup for black. Bishop on e3, quite strange. and knight d2 even. It's reverse Kraken. Ah, it's not though. It's not. The Kraken would be with a3. Kraken would be a3. You know that, G-Souths. It's not. The entire idea of the Kraken is to not play c6 but play a6 instead. It's a reverse Philidor with the bishop on e3. Very strange for white. I don't know what he's doing. He's hanging out with Bakro too much. Watching too many Bakro streams, apparently. H4. You might be hanging out with Hubner a little too much. If you're into H4 here. This is the... Oh, I see. No, I get it now. I mentioned Hubner and Simon Williams yesterday. So you're like fully on the Hubner Simon Williams... whatever, man. Play whatever you want. It's fine. This is a Blitz stream. You can, embarrass yourself all you want to. It's totally okay. Maybe he likes losing, Give him a break. He likes losing, and he likes losing badly. Well, that's a very pragmatic approach. Play h4 in every game. Yep, make it work. Never really worked that well for me. But it might be better. I like h4 on the move 1. If we're gonna do it, then let's just do it on move 1. Get it out of the way. We can adapt that way, I think. There you go. Get it out of the way. Now, do I want to react to this? What would Geller do? Right? Why do I have to react to this? Well, if I let him take on g6, I might have to take with the knight. That's an interesting idea, though, isn't it? Well, I don't have to do anything. I can take with the pawn or with the knight, but if I take with the pawn, I can't play f5. g5 is my instinct there, but I decided to try to keep the tension. They're both good. If any of us was in high school and they had like a questionnaire for the yearbook, person most likely to disagree. What's that when someone always disagrees with everything? They're like person voted most likely to disagree with everything you say. No, there's a word like they're disagreeable. That can be simply like they're always in a bad mood, though. A contrarian, exactly. Contrarian. Closely related to librarian. The Contra rebels in Nicaragua had a librarian, of course, and their librarian was naturally a contrarian. So, yeah, that's a stupid joke. Anyways, what Sun Prism is doing is obviously an attempt to play some sort of Simon Williams, Philidor, Lion's Paw, or whatever it is. I decided to rectify that whole thing. I think you should take on g6 there, but speaking of the Contra rebels, Daniel Ortega has recognized Russia's invasion of Crimea and everything. So that's important. He's now like fourth country after like Syria, North Korea, and like Iran to recognize Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So that's, important to know. Speaking of Contra rebels, I'm like, dude, Ortega's still alive? What? How does like a murderous dictator survive that long? Damn. Okay. So d5. We're gonna do this. Am I sacrificing a pawn? I'm sacrificing a pawn, but I'm gaining a friend. After d takes c5, I gain a friend. They're contrarians. Aryans. They're against Aryans. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. Happy tariff day. I don't know what to invest in anymore. I don't have any money anyway. Watching economy. What bad financial decision will I make today? D5. I like this move. Have you fallen in love with the AI? Oh my god. You know there are people who marry their AIs, Zen Chess. And if you live in your mother's basement, you're more prone to falling in love with AI than not. So, I don't mean like you in particular, but like Arsenal fan, for example. I'm just kidding. Nobody here lives in their mother's basement. No, I never lived in my mother's basement, but I did play a poker tournament there once. Let's see. What else did I do in my mother's basement? Nothing bad. It's a rhetorical Arsenal fan. My mother's dead too. Everybody knows that, but we can still talk about it. I didn't have a basement. Oh. That sucks. Man, so he's going completely nuts, sacrificing peace for no reason. What's wrong with you guys? Come on. Let's play some good chess here. Sacrifice peace for no reason? You had to do that? Oh no, was your bishop trapped? My bad, I forgot. You fell for the trap and your bishop got trapped. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. He had no choice but to sacrifice. He wasn't sacrificing it. He lost it. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Too busy making bad jokes. No, okay, white might have some, you know, I don't think that white is real focused. Neither am I, for that matter. But it's the first game. It's early. He has 2 pawns for the piece, according to my count, but it might be more. It's actually 3. Frankly, it doesn't matter when it's like a middle game and someone's down a piece. Stockfish is going to be like black is +4 in this position. This is not the end game, and it's not really close. Anyway. Sorry about that, Arsenal fan, but wasn't intended just for you. You know, I'm making fun of everyone who lives in their mother's basements. Rest in peace, my mom too. Yours. It's the basements that's the problem, not the moms, you know. Nothing good comes of those basements. Never had a basement, then, you know, you're probably better off. I always had a basement in the houses where my family lived. You mold and damp. It's always a good place. You moved out at 18. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, Arsenal fan. As Mr. Spock said, it was the right thing to do for everyone else. Don't get all personal on me. Don't be getting all personal on me. Have the pawn, man. I don't care. Have it. I was waiting for that last move. So he now has 4 connected pass pawns. Just a mere 4 connected pass pawns. But I wanted to open up my bishop on g7 at all cost. Now we need to make this work. Man, how does white defend b2? I'm curious. He's going to defend it somehow. That's probably not the best way to defend b2. Queen b5, however, was better. You found another way to defend it. God damn it. I need to finish you off. Knight takes, knight takes. Oh, I have another knight. Oh no, come on. You're serious? Rook c8. Oh, my e7 knight. That's a check. You didn't say check. How was this game? Surprisingly not bad for me. But you very briefly had... You briefly had a reasonable position. The h4 isn't as bad as we thought, but I still don't like it. You know, okay, I don't like your whole setup though. I don't like bishop e3. Philidor or King's Indian attack, fine, but why bishop e3? What is bishop e3 about? You know, what is that? Seriously, what is this? I don't understand what that is exactly. You're attacking my c5 pawn, but what's the plan? The bishop is vulnerable to being attacked on e3. You know, I don't know. All right, it's a move apparently. You know, I thought about this. This is really interesting. Queen b6. No one, see the engine #1 move. No one had the cojones to play this, but I'm like, what am I gonna do after b4? I actually sat there thinking about like inducing b4, playing d6, and then being like, okay, I'll play a5. So what is this? That's a provocative move. And then you're tied down to c3. I guess, I mean, it isn't that great for black, though. I mean, what am I threatening? I have no threats. Maybe I do have a threat. Wait a minute. Oh, so I can play knight takes b4. Duh. I see. So queen b6, actually, you maybe can't play b4. This is a weird setup, Sunkrism. Where did you dig this up from? Bishop e3. The computer actually thinks that white is a tiny bit better. That's hard to believe, bro. It's white's engine #1 move. And sort of very surprisingly, after knight c... the computer doesn't like knight c6. I've talked to Acerbate about bowling. See, no one here had the courage to play d4 a tempo down, but Nimzovich would probably play that. Damn, that's a neat trick. All right, it's something. Where did you see this? It's a random move, huh? I thought you had some private lessons with Simon Williams. All right. He definitely doesn't live in his mom's basement. All right. Schumacher and Shaki. So Shaki's a real comedian. He's a real comedian. Why not 360? What a funny guy. Shaki challenged me to 5+180. I knew like some asshole would do this. When I put like, please challenge me to 5+x. That, well, Arsenal fan, I agree that evaluation is imperceptible, but in the opening that early, it's a pretty significant jump. 0.3 in a closed Sicilian with white. after 5 moves is a big fucking deal, right? I mean, that's actually a big deal. It wouldn't be like in the early middle game or something, but to go from 0 to point 0.3 is like, whoa, you know. All right, so what am I doing? 5-3 is fine. 5-2, 5-3. Don't challenge me to 5-4 because it's just, you're weird if you do that. 5-3.5. Why don't you try some fractional increments? Can we do that? We can do fractional increments. Build your own increment. It's like Build-A-Bear Workshop. Build your own increment. I'm going to be creative here. Increment is a huge deal for flag masters. Well, the flag masters don't want to have any increment. Of course. Queen b2, the move I was expecting? No. I didn't really have an expectation, Arsenal fan. And sometimes it's not easy to predict your moves anyway, so no. I didn't know what you would do. It seems like a good move. I try not to have too many expectations anymore at this stage of my life. I guess we're playing the hippo. A hippo formation, and hippo. I'm really confused about the whole a and thing, you know. I feel like my high school English teachers really let me down there. It wasn't clear. I don't know. And hippo? It's a hippo. When do you use an in front of an H word? I'm confused. And hysterical. Can you say that? Is that wrong? Imagine teaching English to a second. English is a second language student. Fuck. I don't know. And imagine I'm better at English than I am at math. Imagine how bad I am at math. Your opponent left the game. And hysterical hippo. Practicing always 5+3. Arsenal fan 5+5. Brownie 5+5. King's Indian defense. You may or may not be obsessed with the King's Indian defense. Schumacher like lost his connection. He must be on the Belgrade bus service. I think he used an "and" when the word of the object pluralized begins with a vowel. And add-on. And asexual challenger. Dude, come on with the H4. Are you trolling me? Okay, against the hippo, it's more valid. But here's hippo rule number 1. You never meet H4 with H5. And elephant. Keep it simple. You never do H5 in the hippo, okay? You always have to play H6. No matter what. Golden rule. You cannot do the auto stop like H5. Because the weakness of G5 is like fatal. You hippo, you always do H6. Sarawan. What I've always considered to be the Sarawan solution to rook pawn moves. It's definitely worthy of a blog. So we've got some viewers. That's good. Let's get it up to 75 so I can become. I like not being a partner actually. All right. Anyway, I said hippo, but I'm not actually obligated to play b6. Like I haven't signed the contract that said I would play b6. So actually, fuck that. You know, I don't have to play the hippo. I mean, this can be a half hippo, quarter hippo. It's like getting chicken. How much chicken do you want? Like half chicken, whole chicken. Mr. Disrespect. Yeah, I was thinking of just streaming on the Evil Chess site for like 2 weeks. Stealing a bunch of viewers from there and then never going back. I hate chess.com, as all of you know, but what I could do is like stream on both and just long enough to like grab like 75 viewers, hold them hostage, bring them to lichess, and then become a like Twitch partner. But I still feel kind of dirty, you know. I like the fact that I've never, ever, ever, you know, I'm like a virgin. I've never, ever, ever streamed on chess.com. And I feel a certain purity from that, you know. Even if I did it as, you know, even if I did it as sort of like just a trick to, I still would feel dirty, you know. So, but anyway, we're getting desperate. No. So, yeah, I mean, playing the hippo blindly seems kind of dumb. So d5. Why d5? Why do you want to play d5 now? Just because your pawn's hanging. You take away. I'm tempted to play a5 and go for blockade, but it is kind of slow. He has some tricks like take. Still not. I'm not afraid, but I do need to develop before anything bad happens. We can also close the center with e5, but I'm not sure that's optimal here. But playing the hippo like routinely with b6 seems inferior as well. I'm actually thinking about knight d7. That seems sort of stupid though. I have to play a5 if I want to put my knight on c5. Could just play a5, a tempo down. Someone predicted that this would become a King's Indian. Well, actually, Schumacher is playing with bishop on d3, and he is playing a somewhat, you know, kind of normal piece configuration for him. Although against the King's Indian, he actually plays the Makaganov, which involves playing h3, so it's a far cry from h4. Knight f4, dropping your h-pawn. Is this a trap? That's a sure sign that he's not used to playing h4. We have some questions about that. We have the mention of the Indonesian guy again. You like bringing that up. It sounds like some kind of coffee. The elephant's made from like elephant poop or something. Nikita. We're on a first name basis. I'm not on a first name basis with anybody over 2,700 really these days. Oops. Schumacher just going with the flow. That's fine. Nikita. No, Arsenal fan, we have to refer to people as their last names because then we can't be sure which Nikita you're talking about. Now, obviously, in this case, the only really top player with the name Nikita is Bityugov. But I don't know. I mean, there might be another one or two wandering around, so we're going to keep it last name, okay? We're going to keep it formal here. Now, with Magnus is one and only, so we can call him Magnus. Or Fabiano, Hikaru, okay. If you're top 5, we can call you by your first name. But like Richard, we can't be calling like Rockport Richard, you know. Would anybody know? What a stupid name that is anyway, Richard. No, just kidding. We have too many Richards here to insult our Richards. I have this very creepy feeling that white is going to castle queenside. Does anybody concur with me? No, but wait. Vidyukov is the one who like immigrated to the UK. Arsenal fan? Is he playing for Arsenal now? Okay, that's why you're a fan. He's playing for Arsenal. Okay. Well, it is time to develop soon. E5 maybe. Close the center. Look, King's Indian Defense predicted this was going to be a King's Indian, and it is. It turned into a King's Indian. Can you believe it? Oh no. Now, what do you think he's trying to do with rook f1? Who would have thought this would become a King's Indian? Raise your hand. That's a good move. I missed that. Schumacher's dangerous, like, kind of dangerous tactically. He sees brute force tactics pretty well. Conceptual tactics, you know. But he has a tendency to do this sort of positional mistake. Well, he'll attack the head of the pawn chain with f4 in the King's Indian type positions. Look at that. Now, well, that's subtle, right? Bishop d4. Wonder what he's thinking about. Eliminate, you see? Brute force. Eliminate the, what about knight c5? You gonna play rook h4 next, or what? God, this is such a beautiful position. What a perfect position. What are you doing? Oh, you're taking my pawn? So greedy. God, you took my pawn. You robbed me. Unbelievable. I don't want the stupid exchange. I'm gonna take your knight. Cheapo alert on. King h7 is like his favorite square. Oh my God. I'm sick, dude. Playing too much bullet chess or something like that. Where's your bishop? Wait, you have a bishop, right? What a slimy cheapo artist. Wow. Dude, I don't know. Really, really sloppy game by both sides. He's fast. Fast and bad. The same as Fat and Mad. But you're so fast that I couldn't even play well myself, you know, at the end. Like, I must have made a million mistakes. Because he was playing so fucking fast, using the increment. That was 5-5. 5-3. Okay. You're like a caveman. Stop being a caveman. Sometimes he beats me. You know, he really knocks me out once in a while. With his brute force, the brute force threats. I mean, Bishop H6 is a bad move anyway by me, Arsenal fan. Why should I try to win the exchange, you know, with Bishop H6? My Bishop on G7 is probably better than a rook. It was an artificial plan that I played just because it was easy. You know, it was lazy and stupid. Of course it was a bad move. No games. This position has never happened in an OTB game. It's like impossible. Wow. Prague versus Larino Nieto. But A6 is new. Okay. Practicing always, Arsenal fan, Brownie, Shockey with compromised. No more 5+180. That's my new simultime control. Fat and Mad. Thoughts on Pierce Modern? Pierce Modern. Well, try the Kraken. I'd leave the Pierce. The Pierce is my first defense. I bought a book on the Pierce back in like 1985. And Pierce for the tournament player, which was a good book. Yeah, I always liked the Pierce. But it's not easy, you know. I don't know anything about my opponent. Really at all. And I never play a slime, but whatever. So I think, like, objectively, White shouldn't play knight c3 against Aliakin, but I was sort of unprepared to face this today. I'm not really awake yet. Practicing always. I don't know who this is. This is like an EF Caro now. Bishop d193. I had that. I won the queen. I won the queen? I won his queen? I thought you were going to say I won the exchange, Arsenal fan. What? When Schumacher gets low on time, you know, some people will actually play, like, more carefully when they get low on time. But it seems like he does the opposite. Like, he starts playing crazier and crazier as his time gets lower. I don't really like my position. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine, but Black just firing away moves. So what do I do with my bishop here? It's hard to unravel. I don't like my game. Originally I had planned to play bishop f4, but I mean it doesn't seem like a very good move at this stage. I don't think that Black really thinks about his moves too much. He just kind of makes automatic moves quickly, which is what I try to sort of fight against, but people don't listen to me. He plays Aliakin's defense, but he plays just like he always plays the EF Caro. But we mentioned this last time. Why do you have so few games? So you just joined lichess. Okay. You haven't played any games since the last time you played on my stream. Let's see. Yeah, see, he doesn't play any games. That's weird. So you only play on my stream or what? So Gen Chess, what's up? Trying to get modern people to use their brain is losing battle. Yeah, I mean, it's. Can AI play chess for me? Yeah, no, the world is a losing battle. I wanted to type into the internet today, is Armageddon inevitable? Kind of a depressing thought, but is it just that we get older and we become more negative, or is things really getting worse? Yeah, AI has made life so much better. The only thing it's made better is like it makes it easier for people to be lazy and do less, you know? How is that better? Like, do the work for the people. So what are the people going to do now? Just get stupider and stupider. I don't like my position. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to like do this and we're going to just change the structure. I don't like this, you know, what's happening here. Being lazy, maybe it is a privilege. But that's not really very relevant, in my opinion. Oh, he finds every good move. But is it a good move? Pawn takes pawn, c4, bishop e4, f5. Bro. Very systematic play by black. I'm totally unsure how the evaluation of this position is. But I don't really give a shit about doubled pawns. You can see that black is pretty strong in a way. You know, he has a very systematic approach. Most people can't do that. Even being systematic is hard. Do I really? Yeah, I'll go to f1, whatever. I don't think the extra pawn, you know, okay, I've been known to do this actually. My game against George Moore at the World Senior. Another thing is like it's continuous threats by my opponent. Like every fucking move is a threat. But that's not necessarily the way to play chess. Every move a threat. You just keep making threats every move and eventually hope the opponent like misses one of them. But there's no depth to that. That's strong against weak players. Bishop takes h3, pawn takes h3, queen e1, knight f3 check. Doesn't work though. I don't know, man. I just don't like playing people that have no games. Again, practicing always, you're like under 100 games. You have 53, 90, 94, 104. It's like you just created this account to play against me or something. It's weird, you know. All right, we really request everyone have 100 rated games, so he barely qualifies. But anyway, I'm not complaining. You know, I get kind of stressed out by playing like weird anonymous players. Yesterday I played several people cheating in anonymous games that were casual anonymous games. You know me from someone else's raid? Uh-huh. Cool. But you should play more, like, rated games. here. I pay too much attention to people's ratings and stuff like that, but I'm always scared, like, my opponents could be cheating. Dude, I play unrated games and people cheat. It's so disgusting. What's up, Jim? Nothing like playing the 5-0. Yesterday I played a 5-0 casual game, the first one. I turned on my phone, went to lichess, played a 5-0 casual game, and the very first game was a computer. Every single move, top choice of the engines. Who does that, dude? It's like retarded. Like, what do you... And so I was so pissed, you know? Wasted like 15 minutes of my day playing some moron who's like using an engine to play the number one move on this phone. You wasted 15 minutes of my life, you know? And what do you got for it? Frustrating like a title player? I just gave him more time until he had like an hour and a half. Bishop f5, another strong move. Can I play this? Keep waiting for the one move tactic to show up. When are you going to play bishop h3, g takes h, queen e1? Queen e1, knight f3 check. That probably loses material for you. You lose 2 pieces for a rook there. What is the fucking benefit of doing that? Like, why would anyone waste their own time doing that? Do they think they're like learning from that? I'm gonna learn how to beat strong players by entering the computer's moves. Okay, dude. If they had any kind of reasonable reason to do it, I would feel a little bit better about it. But it's like, God, first game I play, dude, 5-0. You're too dumb to even play with increment. You could do it better with increment. Just very strong play by black, no? What do you guys think? Perfect? Perfect play by black? Looks like it. Perfect game. Oh, you're playing for a win now. Well, that's rational. Rook e8. You have 17 seconds to 50, and you're going to decline the draw here. Interesting. Well, that's very rational. I offer you a threefold repetition. You're 0-2 against me, and you won't take it? Really? That's just totally random. And queen a4 defends your rook on e8? Seriously? Jesus, dude, this is getting weirder by the minute. And you're finding that move using no time at all? You play no games. What a weird game, dude. You must have like a billion bullet games. Or you're like Repunj Bansal. You had a chance to take a pawn there. You didn't want it? What? That was a random move. This just gets weirder and weirder, dude. Why didn't you take a draw by repetition? It's like totally irrational. Nice one. Now I'm lost? Yeah, this is just too weird, dude. It's getting weirder and weirder. Whatever, dude. Pawn too strong for what? Arsenal, don't go positive for me, man. That's a bad sign. When Arsenal starts to get like optimistic, I know I'm gonna lose. The guy's like a bullet pro who declines draws irrationally, can play with increment perfectly using no time. It's very strange, dude. This account is just extremely strange. I really don't want to continue this type of game. I don't understand the point. Why do you insist on playing like this? Like randomly spazzing out for no reason. Now you're lost. Because you wouldn't take a draw? It's so random. I don't understand what just happened. Like, first of all, it's a draw. Secondly, now you're like, I don't know, what is the point of this game? Look at this game. This is such garbage. Look. I have 50 cent upon loss. My opponent over 60. We're all over the map here. Where was the threefold repetition? It was back here. We had threefold repetition. At this point, it's 0.0. You have less time, and you won't take a draw with bishop f5. I mean, I would think you'd want to take a draw there. That doesn't seem rational to me, but whatever. Okay. So it was a bad game by both sides. If it's not too late, there's a game I just finished. What? 17 hours ago. I just saw a message from 17 hours ago. Okay. Arsenal fan? Whatever, man. I don't know. I just want to play, like, quality chess that makes sense against people I trust. I offer a repetition of position in an equal position, and you have less time, and fine, do what you want, but I don't understand the point of that. You know, why? You should take the draw. I was happy to draw. You lost 0-2 against me already. Why be irrational? You were told. By who? By, like, Cthulhu or something? I mean, Cthulhu ordered you? That's kind of not very not very smart advice. And he didn't mention, like, maybe, like, you should consider the time or other factors. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. Yesterday, Dude, a lot of people have these titles and they're, like, clueless. A draw is a very important part of the game. A draw is a half point. If you lose, you get 0 points. And if you win, you get a point. So a draw is 50% better than a loss, you know. This is the nature of chess. You get a half point more. Now you have 0 points. If you had more time than me, then you shouldn't take a draw. But considering that you have less time against a stronger player, it's very strange to try to understand why you wouldn't take a draw there. It's irrational, and it's a huge mistake. The advice from this person is you don't have enough information. I take most of my advice from WCMs. There's no, a draw is a half point. It's a lot. It's a very important result. It's part of the game. This bullshit about you should never take draws. I mean, of course you should take draws. Depending on the situation, depending on, depending on what's happening. But also, I'm trying to play a bunch of other players here. A draw is fine. It gives us time to play more games. Arsenal fan is like playing what? John M's now? H3 though? That's a weird move. My philosophy toward draws is a very pragmatic one, The bullshit that people try where they're like, oh, never take a draw. I never take draws. I'd rather lose than have a draw. That's irrational. And the other people who like hate draws and they want to like make draws not exist, I think that's stupid too. The wins are worth more than draws. Of course, like boring draws where the players don't play the game, that is stupid. But a well-played game that ends if it's an equal position, that it's a legitimate result. The FM, I don't care. If Magnus Carlsen told you that, it's still a bad advice. Maybe you could learn by playing another game, bro. Did you ever think of that? Did he ever think of that? Oh shit, you could play another game. Wow, that's deep. You could draw that game and then play another game and learn from that. Wow. Right? Your only claim to fame is an OTB draw against a master in my first tournament. My first game was a draw. I offered to draw 2 pawns down because I was afraid. The guy was like 1600 and I was unrated. I offered to draw out of fear. What about if your opponent is scared and you don't want to hurt him, so you give him a draw? Did the FM tell you to be nice to your opponents? No. Alright. Don't want to hear about FMs. I'm not a lot of respect for FMs. The FM title isn't what it used to be. It used to be stronger. Actually, IMs and GMs are obviously GMs especially are the titles that I would respect. Maybe WGM. WGM is like a watered down IM. It's close. But FM is even weaker than WGM, and honestly, a lot of people who get the FM title are weaker players who manage to just pop their title over 2300 when they didn't really deserve it. So I wouldn't be overly respectful of FMs. Now, having said that, there are some really strong players who are FMs, but not necessarily. There are also some really weak players who are FMs. IM is this requirement is more solid, Except for like Gotham chess, I think you can pretty much, trust most IMs are legitimately strong. There are very few players who just sort of conveniently got the AM title so they could become like chess streamers, even though it didn't seem that strong. I mean, I don't mean to fuel conspiracy theories, sorry. Dude, what is that noise? There's some weird ass noise. I love fueling conspiracy theories. Tell us the story about that mean lady who how declined to draw? Who? The what? Whatever, dude. This is just such a boring discussion. It's this simple, man. If you have less time and you're playing a stronger player, take the draw. What's the point of playing in a position where you have no time and you can't even make good moves for a win? I don't understand. Do you understand what irrational means? When you're making bad decisions because you're not being objective. You're not being objective. You mate you. Okay. I declined to draw. The story about the mean lady who you declined to draw. The mean lady? Dude, that wasn't Beatrice Marinello. She's like one of the members of the U.S. Women's Senior Tournament, senior team last year. You know, it's funny. I never ever had an interaction with her in my life, and she played a decent game against me. Nothing special, but she was like totally equal. Offered me a draw, and well, first of all, like we needed to win the match. But I can't remember. You know, maybe they would have. I can't remember if the match. But anyway, it was a very standard situation. She's lower rated, and I'm gonna decline the draw because I had very slight winning chances. You know. She was really nasty, dude. She was nasty. No, she was horrible after the game. I mean, I'm from her own country. If you're gonna be like mean and nasty, and we're playing in a World Senior Team Championship, why do it against your own country? You know, sorry, you're like a baby. And the woman's like a scholastic coach for kids, and she acts like this. She's like a 60-year-old woman who can't handle like someone declining her draw in an equal position and losing. It's just like, and you coach little kids and you behave like that. Seriously. That's kind of disturbing. I give up, guys. I give up. I had a lesson. I had an email earlier where this guy was like sending me a message. He's interested in lessons for his kids, but he demanded like a syllabus and shit. I was like, okay. I hate that, you know, pushy parents. A list of demands. What is this, a ransom note? Like, there's no way I'm going to respond to that. I was just... Unbelievable. Entitled people. I was just waiting for the ransom note. Like... I give up, man. Just... I don't want to, like, time anyone out. It's not a class, you know. It's a one-on-one. I think with classes with multiple people, you tend to get syllabuses. But I don't think you get a syllabus with one-on-one lessons normally. A syllabus is something that a class would have. There would be like more than one person. It's a regimented thing that you do over and over again, like every semester. With a one-on-one lesson, it's more personalized. I don't teach classes. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. I don't teach kids because I hate their parents. But that's why I teach mostly adults. I hate pushy parents. Pushy kids are alright. People are like, why do you teach just adults? Well, I teach teenagers. As long as they're like over 11. Teenagers are okay. I quit teaching little kids a long time ago. Then the parents are really demanding. The parent is probably the one who demands recipe. Who shouts at the restaurant. Yeah. Give me your recipe now. Nefyadov, good to see you back. I thought you left us. Thought I lost you. I keep forgetting I'm playing Arsenal fan here. This game I didn't really talk about much. It was a very standard IQP position. Not that much to talk about. Black's a little better. Black's better. The whole end game, the whole middle game, whatever. But not winning better, just better. I think Arsenal's strong point is attacking tactics. Positional play, he's okay. He's horrible at time management. Often playing too fast when he's better. In this case, he's used his time, though. Well, he wasn't better, so that's probably why. But we are better, but we're not winning. I don't think this is a winning position. I think black is significantly better. That's a long way from winning. The Arsenal's quick when he wants to be. Well, it's good that we have the advantage against him, because it's really unpleasant playing him when he's better. He's very fast. Although he does make mistakes. Because he rushes too much. Do not rush. Jim, good to see you. I'm having trouble focusing. Sorry, guys. It takes me a while to really find my focus. Oof. Well, that's sort of a disappointment. I really didn't want to do that, but I thought he might take with the different piece there. He took with the bishop. Okay. We're squeezing him. Squeezy. Probably a computer draws this for white. At this stage, why is my bishop on f8? No particular threats. Oh, you have a move there. Yep. He saw that. Alright, I take it back. I have a different plan. I thought you could have gone into b4 there. Maybe you should have gone into b4. Maybe I had bishop b6 too. I can't think clearly. I don't know. Brain is just not clear. Ben Feingold does not approve of your pawn moves. Come on. Ben Feingold never looked at like a Rubinstein game in his life. That's a little hard to believe. Rubinstein playing probably one of the most epic games in this structure. It's a very standard structure for f6. Now Ben knows that. It's meant for beginners, which, you know, is the majority of his audience. Right? That advice applies to beginners. It should come with a disclaimer. This advice is only meant for beginners. Do not take it too literally. Is this a mistake? Uh-oh. Better trade queens while I can. against a dangerous Arsenal fan. Right. The free D pawn. Well, that was an IQP. Are you IQP? Ah, whatever. Nice try. He's gone for counterplay with the H pawn. I've decided not to play that game. We're going to try to not allow any counterplay, any open lines for enemy rook. Keep the counterplay to a minimum. Oh no. Friendly neighborhood pawn trio. Well, I actually played a good game. It was drawn as I thought, looks like. But like this, for example, is where I would never agree to a draw unless I had less time. Or I was playing a higher rated player and I had less time. Black, it's a draw theoretically, but black has better chances, clearly better chances. Shockingly, Stockfish gives the evaluation of 0.1. That's pretty crazy. So there must be something here that we missed for the computer to think that white is 0.1 here. I don't think that's an accurate evaluation, no. No, it's 0 now. No, objectively, there's no way that white is better here. But, you can't just go by computer evaluations. This is why. This is... Magnus Carlsen is winning this position like 70% of the time against another Grandmaster with black. Black has a practical advantage. That's why you can't just blindly accept chess evaluations. I had an inaccuracy. What's my inaccuracy? Something was a mistake. Bishop e4 was a mistake. Huh. Oh, I had queen d5, so I can force him to play f3. But why is that? Is that terrifically bad? I might have a tactical shot like queen d5, f3, knight b3, attacking the d4 pawn, winning it with check. So queen d5, threatening mate, and if you play f3, then here hits your rook, and so if you move the rook, after knight takes d4, I think you probably have to try something like bishop takes h7 check. I don't know if that even works. Let's see what the computer says. This is no good. Wow. So you can't play f3. You have to play knight back. Okay. And then I have a pretty serious advantage. But I don't like masturbate. Yeah, I always call masturbate. I don't like h3. There's no reason for Arsenal to play that here. a3 is normal. This is a standard. Like mainline c3 Sicilian. Nefridov. Vita Levente. Slagi. 2007 or something. I lost that line against Levente. Once I beat Strapunski. But knight g4 isn't a real move in this type of position for me. Not a serious move. Nothing to be worried about. You don't need to do that. You better. But don't believe me. Alright, Nefridov is up. I'm going to play bishop c4. What does Nefridov do against the Vienna? Oh no, I allowed knight takes e4. He probably plays knight takes e4. Wow, he doesn't. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, and neither do I. No, Nefridov plays knight c6, so knight a5 is the main line. And d3 is my only good move here, correct? Correct. d3 is white's only good move. Knight f3 sucks. And now you have knight a5, classical. Nefridov approach. I'm out of book with white. I probably had this position with black. Never really liked the knight a5, but Bronstein goes over this. He doesn't do it. Wow, I expected knight a5. Okay, I've played this move myself. So much for expecting knight a5. Morales also plays this with white. Knight e2, d5. Takes castles. Another move that Nefridov can play there is bishop c5. I really expected the old knight a5. Alright. So now he doesn't take. But if you don't take, then what's the point of bishop e4? Well, it's too late to take. He had to play d5. Yo! Anything between 5-2 and 5-5. Read the screen. That's what it says. Screen never lies. Except when I leave it up from the last stream. Master Chess Dojo. Master Chess Dojo rating with a party of 8, 6, whatever. Master Chess Dojo, I stole your hat, bro. Sorry about that. I know. You inspired me. It's a mix of Master Chess Dojo and Balkan, like, mafioso. Okay, h6. It made me think of you, I have to admit. h6 is a bit slow. You're always rocking the fedora. It's just a summer thing for me. Oh no, chess dweeb. Alright. I haven't heard of chess dweeb in a while. Can we talk in private? Wow. Guys, get a room already. This is no place for that. None of this talking in private in here. And don't bring your stalkers to my stream. Alright guys, I don't know, king h1, this feels a little early, but h6 is weird. h6, okay, it's not weird. He's trying to stop bishop g5, but I mean, do you really want to do that? On the black side of a Vienna where white is ready to go f4? Do you want to weaken your king side with h6? Which is worse? The disease or the cure? Nefridov was supposed to play, he was supposed to play d5, I'm pretty sure. I played this myself. Like, you have to play d5. If you're going to play bishop b4, then you have to, you know, Having said A, you have to say B. I'm no expert at this, though. I am not knowledgeable about playing the white side of Vienna, really. Not very knowledgeable, anyway. Another thing I know is that, while knight a5 is a typical idea, I don't think I really mind him taking on c4. So we're going to go f4. We've got a typical kingside attack. How do you write that many comments? How do you do, like, guy on Philippines? You're not on the Philippines, you're in the Philippines. Just saying. I mean, technically you're on it, right? Unless you're, like, down. If you're down in the basement in the Philippines, maybe you're not on the Philippines. I mean, does it count? Seriously, if you're in the basement, underground in the Philippines, are you on the Philippines or in the Philippines? So how would it matter? Like, if you were down 2 stories down in the basement, would you be in or on? I don't know. It's unclear. All right. I want to play queen e1. But we have other options too. Why not just exchange on e5? Let's get that done with, first of all. Another thing is, I don't know if I still want to let him take on c4. We could play bishop b3. It would preserve my pawn structure. It feels a little slow. I have this tendency to, like, hesitate when I have good positions. Oftentimes the engine will be like, oh, you had him, but you just hesitate. I always hesitate when I'm on the verge of a very strong position, it seems like. Here I'm kind of hesitating again. You're on the United States. Wait, are you sure? The Gulf of he's on the list, or... So, bishop g4, queen e1. Trade everything. Trade everything, Nefedov. You have no chance against Capablanca in this endgame. Bleach. And yeah. It's over. I heard that bleach improves your bullet play. Is that true? That's why I have such a bad attention span. I haven't been taking enough bleach. No, I like this guy already. Knight h5. That's a KG move. That's pissing me off, actually. So what do I do? We break the pin, like bishop d2. Okay, Nefedov plays the Schliemann. He's probably trying to play f5. He's, what's the word? Incontrovertible. Knight g3 is even possible. Screw this. I don't like this knight h5 crap. It needs to go. Pawn structure is what matters here. I don't need an attack. I like my pawn structure. I have a big island. Look at Nefedov. Just flow with the queen h4. I'm not buying your queen h4. Fine by me. Pawn structure is all that matters here. I've got the big island. I live in Oahu. No, that's Chesibra. Are you on the big island? No. You're Maui, right? I've got the big island. All that matters. Minority attack on the king's side. I have no brain cells left to calculate, like, an attack. Nefedov's tricky. He's slow, but he's fast. He's strong, but he's weak. He's he's just a picture of contradictions. Also hard to predict his moves. King h7. Didn't even occur to me. Of course. Well, alright. h3, that's a good move, right? I can't get rid of the goddamn knight on h5. You're pissing me off, man. Knight c4, attacking his pawn. It's unbelievable. And he's faster than me. What is the knight doing on h5? I know. And will never move away. Once he does something, he sticks with it. Yeah, capitalizations. Stop capitalizing on my mistakes. What do we got for time? It's 2 o'clock. f6. He will not rest until his knight like gets trapped or something. Or I fall into a knight g3 check trap myself. This is unbelievable. I'm confused. I don't know. I give up. I don't know what to do. He refuses to move that knight on h5. Put it on f4. Now I'll never get rid of it. He'll find some kind of weird tense move now. No? That's strange. I never should have taken my rook off the a file. It's illogical. But that's fine. Black is okay here, I suppose, but his play is very hard to predict his moves. Arsenal, that's like your wife asking you a question. Should I go with the true answer or what you want to hear? Nah. Either way, I'm fucked. Right? One of those questions where you're screwed either way. Does this position make me look fat? I don't think that's a statistically relevant sample size. You're what? I was just wondering because his score is 1 out of 3 where mine is 1 out of 4. What are you talking about? 1 out of 3 ain't bad. What 1 out of 3 what? 1 out of 3 timeouts in the last week? You're killing him on you're killing him on timeouts and like banishments and stuff. How could I possibly answer the question, to be honest, Arsenal fan? And even if I didn't mind hurting someone's feelings, it honestly seems to me like you're kind of comparable, relatively comparable in strength. It would be very hard for me to say who's better. I mean, who's better, Magnus? Who's better, Magnus or Bobby Fischer? You know. Oh, you blundered. Knight takes c5. You're very different, but you know both. I don't think you're easy opponents to handle. I think you would be around the same strength. I don't know. You know, it would be an interesting matchup. Very different stylistically. There's this weird noise. What is that? What the hell is going on here? Is like my room like expanding from the heat or something? Oh, it's a water bottle. Oh wait, the whole time? The whole time this like weird popping sound has been going off. There's this water bottle on the floor. That's weird. Alright. Nefedov blundered knight takes e5. Arsenal, you're playing a lot. I would sort of think like Nefedov was stronger than you before, obviously, when you first came to my stream. But it's getting to the point where you're playing more than him. You know, you're playing a lot. You play a lot of games. You're more active now. So, I don't know now, you know. You might be stronger than Nefedov, objectively. But who am I to say, you know? Okay. I mean, I played you both hundreds of games. I guess I'm a good guy to ask, but it's still hard to say. I feel like that's not enough. I skipped mine. I didn't skip anybody. I don't know how this works. I just take the challenges as they come in. You guys are going to have to bribe me or something to go out of order. And please file any complaints with lichess.org. No, me first. Me first. Arsenal 537 games, Nephew 453. It's a nice sample size, and I still don't feel like I know anything. I don't know anything. Alright, this guy's not here. Next. If you're not here when I take a challenge, I'm sorry. We might have to time you out though if you spam the chat room. But if you bring in some friends and you bring me up to 100 viewers, then I'll let you spam the chat room. Please me? That's not cool. Why is this thing like, it's a stupid water bottle? But it's not even like dented or anything. Why is it making these like annoying popping sounds? Anything will distract me. I can't concentrate. The slightest little noise. It's usually a sign that I didn't rest. You know, it's so important to rest, guys. Can't emphasize that enough. If you're going to compete in anything, especially chess, important to get a good night's sleep. Nefedov was playing kind of creatively there. It might have even been better. G3, that's not something I've really seen in my Kraken. Phil McCracken. Oof. B4 is not good. This pawn is rather loose. It could even lead to an immediate loss rather easily. What is he going to do about D5? Does black just like lose immediately after this move? Is that pawn just gone? Okay, so he finds a solution. The solution. Solution. Okay. I gotta watch the E6. Well, I could trade. I don't love trading, though, I have to say. I don't love trading here. How bad is my E6 pawn? If I play bishop E7, he takes. I could even castle. I can't stress how important patience is. Well, I could stress it, but I'm opting not to do so. All right. Alright, now I'm really paranoid. There must be another bottle making weird noises at the same time. Is that you? Are you doing that? People put secret water bottles. You're trying to concentrate and there's like weird sound and you don't know where it's coming from. Freaking me out. Alright. I don't like that b4 move, but it's surprisingly hard to take advantage of. We isolate the pawn. Damn, he's gonna get knight on d4. No, knight on d4 is not good for me. I gotta stop that. I don't want to see that. So this turns out to be better than it looks. I couldn't exploit it. Alright, now I've really lost my mind. And if you look over there, there's never a sound. Whatever happened to John MacArthur? He rated with 6 viewers earlier. See John? I didn't see he said he was leaving. Alright, thanks John for the raid. I guess he was hurt. He was hurt by my hat. Feels like I'm copying him. No. I got this in Croatia. Alright. I'm just kidding. Wow. Subtle play. It's like a Najdorf. Oh, please stop with that. Please stop spamming with the challenges. We take the challenges when we get to them. I can't do it any faster. Wow, 1755. What if I move my queen? Biggest problem with b4, of course, is like weakening white along the c file. This is like a Najdorf. Thanks, Zenchess, for the dono. What is my sound turned off? Bro, why did I not hear that? That's really weird. Zenchess 4 minutes ago donated 20. All I'm hearing is like popping water bottles. Yeah, thanks Zenchess for the dono. Why did I not get a notification sound? I would have said thank you too. Maybe it came in and I didn't realize. Wow, Zenchess with a huge donation, 20 bucks. Bringing us up to 1454.32. It's almost in order. Okay, this pawn is looking... It's looking juicy. But White's play way better than 1755. Even though he played the weird b4, he made it work. He's managed to keep everything protected. Played kind of positionally. Chess Zebra, thanks for the dono notification. What am I going to do without you? Yeah, Zenchess. F4. That's aggressive. Now we got to play F5. Got to. I mean, we're not going to get overrun by that. Knight G5 is gone. Here's one of the things that I just... Wow, he didn't play Knight G5. How do you defend that pawn on D5? Wow, he's just 1700, fearless, moving almost instantaneously. Damn. Does that work tactically? Okay, rook d8 is a problem. Bishop takes b4, d6. That's pretty strong, bro. I can play knight c4. I probably should. Jim suggested this earlier. First problem with White's play, he's too optimistic, you know, too aggressive. Why so aggressive? You know? You play the same against the 1200 that you play against the 2500. That's one way to be, but I'm not sure it's optimal. Did I miss something there? Maybe. But the one thing that I notice that players consistently do, they're too aggressive. If there's a scale of passive aggressive, players under master level almost consistently across the board are too aggressive. They're like completely fearless. And what is that a sign of? They don't play strong enough opposition. You know, if you're too aggressive, it means you're not getting beat down enough. It means you're not playing strong enough opposition. Because if you were, you would be more cautious. If you're playing, you know, too passively, then the opposite is probably true. You're probably playing too strong opposition and you're getting beat down like you're playing computer all the time. It's a bad idea. You know, it's going to totally make you a passive player. Don't play computers all the time. But here, White, I mean, one of the things is that he doesn't realize he plays too aggressively. Just because I say he plays too aggressively doesn't mean he knows he plays too aggressively. Okay, I'm just talking about players in general, you know, and not just chess, but poker too. Almost across the board, weaker players, they tend to just play too aggressive. Here, White has lost, you know, this whole war, basically. It's over. White is just totally lost now. He was doing great, you know, for a long time. But now at the center is overwhelming. Where did I put my bishop? C8. Maybe he can try some sort of piece sacrifice. Nah. You're like doubling down. G4 is doubling down. Doubling down on crazy. How do I finish him off here, though? Not so easy. G4. Unbelievable. I would think he'd be higher rated. He's too aggressive in this game in general, but it's still good enough to be like 2000 at least. I would think. It's all about the bullet chess. Come on with a self-mate. You want to do it. You know you want to do it. That's self-mate. That's an illustration of what happens when you're too aggressive. You self-mate yourself. All right. Interesting game to a degree. This move here, b4, radical. All right, we're almost to the Philippines. Guys, I gotta start. I gotta stop around 3 p.m. CET. So we should have enough challenge time. Should have enough time for these challenges. By the way, did Zen Chess leave? Did Zen Chess really leave us? Well, we got a D4 game. Nice. Oh, he's still here. Thank you, Zen Chess. Zen Chess, you donated $20, man. Very generous. Thank you. So back to the accelerated Queen's Indian. I took a little pause on this, but I still got to consider it as a major part of my repertoire. The next tournament is the World Senior. The $20 that Zen Chess will donate or donated will go toward my World Senior Fund for October. That's the next tournament, sadly. I wanted to play in August, but I canceled. So A3, Queen's Indian. Against Sarua, I played G6 last year. 2 years ago, actually. But I've been playing double fianchetto anyway, so... This is weird. He does G3 after A3. We had a game like this already. I think it's a bit strange. I'm not sure that A3 and the classical kind of setup really mix together. So next is Queen C2, right? I trade pieces. The safe approach. Because I have less space. This is a provocative setup for black. The World Senior's in Gallipoli, in the boot of Italy. And there's already quite a lot of entrants. So I have to lock in an entry before I get locked out of the main hotel. I should really register today or this week. I'm hoping that it's still warm, in October, late October, October 20th. Maybe it's still warm enough. It's pretty far south, Jim. I don't know. I don't know if it's far south as Greece, but it's probably kind of comparable, right? Latitude-wise to Greece, wouldn't it be? How's your weather in late October in Greece? All right, Queen C2 and then takes with a pawn. Well, I'm not going to rush to castle because of his history of playing H4. We have H4 from everybody plays H4 against me. It doesn't take place in Greece. We're in Italy, I'm saying, but it's in the same latitude as Greece, southern Italy. I mean, I imagine it's really not that different from when I played in Terracini in Sicily. It'll probably be nice. Bishop G5, and now Queen C8, because we'd rather not play F6. One idea I've used is Queen E8 if I'm already castled. Freedom units. The hell does that mean? Converting to freedom units? The Mediterranean Sea. The heck is a freedom unit? Alright, E4. The golden rule of these structures is not to play C5. They can lock you in with D5. I think first I play H6. Yes, this is a hippo. Essentially. True. But it's a good one, and it's especially good one because white has doubled isolated pawns. The Sword of Damocles. No. What was some other Greek reference? Achilles' heel. Alright. Sword of Damocles. Whatever. Yes, I have dementia. Alright. It was close. Now, I don't want to play E5 because of bishop H3. He knows about that. So what do I want to do here? A5 has to be possible. I don't want to play A6. Necessarily, no point in that. I could go back with my queen to a sensible position. I could play C5. Or castles. Castles is always an option. Knight F6, Knight E1. E5. Why not just E5? Bishop H3. I hesitated because of bishop H3. Maybe I should put my queen back onto a normal square. Let's be patient. Just be patient. Try to lock the bot. Kick the bot. Lock the bot. Approximately 7 degrees. That's nice. Ah! Lecce. There's a lot of players already registered. So it should be a good event. Although I don't like the organizer. It's the same woman that organized the tournament 3 years ago. Or 4 years ago in Assisi. And she was pretty lame. It seems like she just does it for money. So, she does it for money. She's a chess organizer who does it for money, not for love. That applies to other things as well, but maybe not with this particular person. Yeah. Rook D1. No, it probably is a beautiful place. I think that's why, that's why there are a lot of entries. When they had the tournament in Assisi, it's great for, like, religious people who like to, I don't know, sightsee, like, Catholic monasteries and shit, but, who wants to go to, like, central Italy, like Assisi? I mean, it's not an exciting destination for the average person, so Assisi didn't have as many entrants this early. Keep the hat on, Italian vibe. Yeah, I got it in Croatia. So, Western Croatia, bordering Italy. Yeah, it's an Italian vibe, definitely. Right. I can blend in. I don't look like a tourist at all, right? Now I've prepared myself mentally for bishop h3. We don't look like a tourist. No one's going to try to pick my pockets or scam me looking like this. You know what's cool in Croatia? I don't know if this is the case in other countries like Greece, or is it a Mediterranean thing? On the bus, dude, they have music. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Do buses in other major European cities have music? Do they have that in Greece? Seriously? The bus had music. One day it was like, wow, they never have that in Budapest. I've never, ever, ever heard of a Hungarian bus having music. Um, like maybe it's like dependent on a driver or something. I mean, that's crazy. But in the U.S., it would never fly. One day it was like really typical pop music, and then the other day it was like the driver was into rock, so that was cool. Funny. All right, it's time. We're gonna castle. That's cool. So maybe it's like a Mediterranean thing, you know? It's not universal to, or not specific to Croatia. I thought it was cool. Maybe just in the summer. Bus music. And, yeah, everybody's really chill. I enjoyed Croatia. It was my first time there. Way more chill than like Hungary. Wow, knight h4. That's a wild move, huh? I thought about doing my other rook to e8, but I wanted to free up knight f8, knight e6 as a possibility. Also, if I play like bishop f6, I won't drop h6 with tempo. It is really expensive, man. It was really expensive. It's crazy expensive, yeah. I blew a lot of money in Croatia. I did not expect to have to spend that much. Food, like restaurants, extremely expensive. Really, yeah. You're absolutely right. It was crazy expensive. It's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go to to Romania to play. I need to work and earn back the money I spent in Croatia. It was super expensive. So now what do I do? G5? No. I don't know what to do. This? Hey, that's a cool idea. Trading pieces. I used to do this in the King's Indian. I'm in my King's Indian comfort zone now. Oh, you saw that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. The King's Indian comfort zone. What? Bro. God, he's relentless. The relentless pursuit of happiness. Holy. Takes. This is crazy. Why did I do that? I meant to play knight takes e4. Whatever, alright. This is wild. Glad he decided to go there. It's like playing Schumacher all over again. It's like Schumacher Part 2. You guys might be long lost brothers or something. They play exactly the same. Is Schumacher not like, this is not like your second account? He's stronger, a little stronger. More consistent. He just lost on time almost. Damn. He defended the c4 pawn. Well, my bishop's not doing anything. How's the Achilles heel coming along? Good. Ooh, I can take with a pawn. Now upgraded with more pawns. Wow. Why not? Uh-oh, g6, look out. There might be a surprise waiting. Can never be too careful. Good bishop, bad bishop. Looks like I still can't win. He has rook takes. Oh my god. I could just snipe that pawn on a3, right? You don't need that for anything. Rook h4 is really tempting. This is a long game. Ooh, I've even got hate mail. They're growing impatient. Some pawn islands are better than others. Is this some sort of trick? Because I don't see it. Like rook f5. No. You can't be too careful. Okay, bishop needs to move. We're going bishop d7. Now I can push a4. Yeah. Wow, another strong move. That's fine. The endgame should be winning. Where's he going now? You really don't want to be blockading with your queen. It's like unbelievable. He is defending this. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Too many pawns. Another really tough game, but pawn structure. We played well. Chess is hard, you know. You think he had rook takes g5 check? I tried to be careful about that. I didn't think he did. I have like a lateral queen g6. You were probably looking at this position, but I have this. Zen. That was the point. So I actually kept an eye on that. Alright. Guy on Philippines. Oh no, a message. Guy on Philippines. You make sure you're on, okay? Because in isn't good enough. This might be my last game today. I don't know. Whew, he just barely made it. I'm getting hungry. It's lunchtime. Oh no. You got muted now. Don't beg to play. You get muted again. Guy, oh my god, knight g5. I played that on occasion. E6 is fine. It's not the 97. Thank you, Mr. Coffee. Oh no. Oh no, poor guy in Philippines. Are you gonna, Mr. Coffee? You shot him? He wasn't so bad. It was the other guy that was spamming more. It's all right. Maybe guy in Philippines asked to be muted. That's not a bot. You got muted by a real person. Now we transposed. You tricked me into transposing to the 97 line? I'm like an idiot. Okay. Whatever. You asked to be muted. No, Moobot didn't mute you. No, Moobot timed you out. Oh, it did. No, but then Mr. Coffee timed you out for 600 seconds. He doubled down. H6. We're transposing. It's Karpov. What is this, Kasparov? Deep Blue? Deep Blue Kasparov? No. But I did lose to Sergei Kudrin like this once. What is that? What are you doing? Oh no. Dude, what is he doing? That doesn't work. You're down a piece now. I don't think you can sack a piece there. You know, you have to go back to e4. This is not a line I intended to play, but knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4. It still seems weird though. Something wrong about this position. Still not right. I thought like your queen should be on e2 or something. Playing too fast. We talked about that. My queen is not defended. That's okay. Isn't it? Yeah, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So knight d5. Oh, I see. Oh no. Oh man, we got to turn off the chat. No, dude. We're not going to highlight your comments in the chat. Maybe you have to ban him, I don't know. He got timed out, now he's chatting in the board chat. Really annoying, bro. Don't do that. Yeah, his tricks don't work here. He sacked a piece, man. It's unsound. Why? It's a bullet sack? Yeah, but I mean, shouldn't you at least sack on e6? If you're going to sack a piece, isn't e6 better? And then go like bishop g6 check? Are you sure that knight f7 is better? I can play king g8 or g6. No, it's a known idea, but I'm not sure it's enough. The sort of thing where you do knight e6 takes, bishop g6 check. I think statistically, you know, it's not good enough. Like, the computer will win. If you play against a computer, probably. Where should I put my king, though? I'm not so sure about f6. Maybe f6 is a serious mistake. I'm not certain that I did the right thing, you know, even with g6. I could have just gone back to g8. Why move my king at all? But I don't understand why I get so many opponents who play like so crazy, you know. Why can't people just play normally? You have to earn the win, not play for tricks, you know. Everybody wants like a easy victory. Anyway, my knight was gonna get like chased away at some point. Now, if I was playing a computer, I'm beginning to wonder. Well, I have a very bad bishop. But keep in mind there's increment too, you know. I don't know. Maybe he has compensation. I didn't even intend to play. This is garbage. I mean, knight g5 is not a good move. I played it myself, and then I don't even remember the right response. I'm like, I should just play h6 right away, probably. But I was second guessing myself. There's nothing wrong with h6 right away. But is it the best move, or do I have better? And then I decided to play e6. So h4, that's the popular move today. You have that. I played you before. I played him before. I do not remember that. Wow, a sneaky in-between move. That's frightening. Bishop c4. Alright. Bruh. One could easily be under the impression they're playing like a computer or something. He actually plays like a computer. If I ever saw anyone imitate a computer style, this would be it. Uh-huh. There we go. So like our other guy, a draw for is a sign of weakness. Now you're playing for a win. Even though you're like 300 points lower rated and you have less time. Hung a rook. Hung my rook there. Jesus. That was kind of lucky. And it just, the beat goes on. Dude, whatever. I mean, what a game, huh? You got my knight. I offered him 2 draws. 2 times offered draw repetition. Unbelievable. This was a terrible game. Terrible game. I blundered twice. And he was lost at 2 different points. For the time control, it's an awful game. But you're like taking me time prisoner. Man, this opening was stupid. I transposed to the 97 line. Unbelievable. I can't play e6. You know, c5 is interesting. I swear I looked at this. Navarro's right. Like, c5 is actually the best move, if I remember correctly. According to the Stockfish. Shockingly, Navarro knows what he's doing. Right? h6 is simpler. And fine. But this is retarded to do e6 and transpose to a 97 line. So actually, it's not a transposition. I just transposed with 97. That's the really big mistake. I can still play c5 here, or h6. h6 now? What are you going to do? You're going to sack again? One of these things? Uh-huh. Knight f7. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. Check, king g8. It's not sound, but it's playable in fast time control. I gotta go, guys. Yeah, I gotta go. We're gonna be back. I got a lesson in 5 minutes. We're gonna be back in on Sunday, and yeah, Good games today. Thanks Zen Chess for donation. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on Sunday Simul Sunday at 6:30 p.m. CEST. Thanks guys.